Rica. It is a beautiful day in Guanacaste, and I mean spectacular. I'm lucky to live in this part of the world. Anyway, what is Rythmia? Rythmia is a life advancement center. What does it do? It changes and improves your life. How does it do it? It uses ayahuasca, breathwork, meditation, yoga, workshop programming, the cleanse, one-on-one counseling, all kinds of things, farm-to-table food, and it all happens within the course of a week. Does it work? Well, let me tell you this. Almost 23,000 people have been here. Over 22,900 people have been through these doors. And of them, 98.06% say they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. That's 986 out of every 1,000 people, 23,000 people. And because of that, people come from all over the world. You say, hey, does it last? At 6 months, these people receive a second survey. 90.22% say that the miracle is still working in their life and that this was the week that changed their life. Because of that, people come from all over the world to be here. This week I have which is a normal week, 2-3 people from the Middle East, people from Canada, the United States, England, Australia, every single week travel all the way around to this little spot in Costa Rica to have this happen. Because of this amazing week, we get people from all walks of life. We get billionaires and movie stars and athletes and entertainers, musicians, all kinds of people, scientists, politicians from all over the world converge on this little place. And sometimes their experience is so amazing that they want to join our board and become part of the Rythmia family. So far, and I'm just going to mention a couple. Kelly Slater, the world's greatest surfer, on the board. Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. Ron White, the comedian, on our board of directors, right? Martin Luther King's son, Martin, and the list goes on and on and on. Joe Biden's brother, Frank, on our board of directors. And by the way, he took that position on the board while his brother was the sitting president of the United States. Wild stuff. Yep. Why do they all come here? It's because this week is miraculous. It is a miraculous week. And there's no words other than miracle to describe it. And we've been in business now 10 years of seeing these people come back. You know, it's great when they come back because they tell us how much their life has improved, right? My life improved dramatically from this. I was a guy who did okay financially. I sold companies. I managed to take a company public, and I sold one company to a public company. My last big business deal that I did, where I sold it for right at $90 million, and I owned 75 or 80% of the company at that time with no debt. So, I've been successful in business, but my life was a wreck, a complete and total wreck. Here we are 12 years later, and my life is different. So back then, I was an alcoholic, a drug addict. I hated people. I was super unhappy. I was prickly. I didn't get along with people. I had problems with my children, my mom, my family. It was all a wreck. Here it is 12 years later. Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't do drugs. None. Nunca. None. Have a great relationship with my mom, my sisters, my family. My kids, I'm closer with than any family that I know. One of my sons moved from Los Angeles, and he's been living and working with me now for a year here. I have these great relationships. I have a business that is the most amazing business of any business I've ever seen in the world, where people check in one way and 7 days later they check out a different person. All this happened to me because of this plant medicine, because of this week, because of this system of, and it's a system that involves all of these different components. But at the end of this week, you're a different human. Now, well, I talk about different things every week, and a lot of questions came out. We put out a press release about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago about the miracle rate. What is that miracle rate? When people check out, they're given a survey and they self-report. 986 out of every 1,000 that have been here and gone through the program say they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. That's a crazy number, but it's the truth. It's electronic data. It is the truth. Now, is this an addiction center? No, it's not. This is a life advancement center. Most of the people that come here are successful by nature. A lot of times, what makes people come here is they had something called a capital event where they just made a chunk of money and yet they didn't feel any different. They just won a championship and yet they didn't feel any different. They had an incredible award, a humanitarian award, and they worked their whole life on it, but it didn't feel any different. That's a lot of people that come here are in that category. That's what kind of happened to me. At my saddest, I had about $65 million in the bank at my saddest. So the people that come here, sometimes ordinary people just like you and me, but a lot of A-listers, a lot of people who are big achievers that expected this last achievement to make a huge difference in their contentment, and it did not. And that's why people come here. People come here because they realize that in order for their life to change, they have to do something a little different. That's who comes here. Now, some of those people have addictions. Most of us have an addiction of some kind. And I want to talk about addictions. We are not a licensed addiction center, right? That's for other people. But a lot of people that come here that are successful have what you would be called functional alcoholism or chronic weed smoking or whatever. So a lot of people are spending a lot of money and da-da-da-da-da. So there are addictions. The most interesting thing about healing the addiction through plant medicine are the outcomes. And I want to talk about it. So in my life, I had this set of problems that were being made worse through drug and alcohol addictions, primarily drug, but alcohol was a daily thing for me my whole life since I was about 12 years old. I started drinking a little. I haven't had an alcohol year free since I was 11 up until this last year. So everything was a part of addiction, cigarettes, whatever the thing was. So in my makeup, in my persona, I can't quit anything. So if you told me, hey, when I was smoking cigarettes, that I had to quit. I tried quitting 50 times when I was younger. I smoked 2 packs a day. I tried quitting 50 times. And I can't quit anything I want to do. If I want to do it, I can't quit it. So what was interesting with me in plant medicine, and I discovered this early on. So my problem with drugs was my big problem. The first week of plant medicine, and all of a sudden I no longer wanted to do drugs. And that left immediately. Immediately. It was like, do you want, if your favorite color is like blue, and they say pick a color and there's blue, yellow, green, and red, you're just going to pick blue. It's simple. This medicine works different than any other methodology. It works incredibly well. So when it came time to quit smoking, I really liked to smoke. So I asked the medicine one night to take cigarettes from me, and she did. And what I mean by that was this. I didn't want to smoke the next day, or the next 4 days, or the next 8 days. I didn't want to smoke. And here's how crazy I was. I thought, oh my God, that's so easy. I might as well smoke because I like to smoke. I can quit at any time. And I did that 5 more times. And then the last time I said, okay, this is it. Take it from me. I quit for good. Because in my mind, I no longer wanted to do it. With alcohol, the first 10 years after I did plant medicine, so initially my alcohol consumption went down by about 80 to 90%. Hard to believe, but that's true. Immediately. And for the next 10 years, it stayed super minimal, super minimal. And then all of a sudden, I said to myself, it was actually in a ceremony, but I said, that's it. Because I had been reading things, and it says that even a small amount of alcohol you develop problems as you age. And I asked her to free me from it. And I never looked at it again. What do I mean by that? There's alcohol in my house. My girlfriend occasionally likes to have a margarita or something. I can make her the margarita and not want to taste it, not want to have it. It's a completely different event than quitting through conventional means, white knuckling, anything. There's none of that. It's when you're really ready to walk away, the medicine frees you from the thing that was holding you. It just does. And it's seamless and easy. And one of the problems with the medicine in general is it makes everything easy. So all of the questions and decisions and life circumstances, it lays out for you. If you do them, your life gets easy. And it's so easy that the temptation is to go back to those things because it was so easy to change. This is the truth. So a lot of people that come through our doors that are super successful, it's not their main thing, but they have, a little drinking or a little weed or a little shopping or a little whatever, and immediately they're free from it. And unlike any other modality I've ever seen, and I mean unlike it, because my problem is if I like to do something, I'm screwed. So if you don't remove it from my want, I'm going to keep doing it, whether it's smoking a cigarette or having a drink or whatever it is. If you don't remove it from my want, and the miracle there is that all of a sudden you don't want it. So how can this thing, we'll take alcohol, we'll take cigarettes. How can something that had been with me since I was 12 years old, because that's when I started stealing cigarettes and smoking them. And by the time I was 17, I was a pack a day guy. By the time I was 20, I was a 2-pack a day guy. and it stayed 2 packs a day until I was 55. And all of a sudden, in one day, it was gone, where I no longer wanted to do it. And I would giggle because I think, oh my God, this is too easy. So unlike conventional things of mantras and hypnotizing yourself every day and replacing it with chewing gum 1,000 packs a day or blah, 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 all of a sudden it's removed. And what is this removal after removal after removal? Well, when she keeps removing things from your life, all of a sudden the static and the noise goes way down. And all that's left, so this is where this goes. So when people have this soul merger, and all of a sudden, all of their problems, the veil is lifted, they can see the light, God has spoken to them, and now they want to become a beneficial presence on the planet. And they want to create their own rythmia, or open the restaurant that feeds the public a healthier meal, or write the music that's been in their heart their whole life, or whatever the thing is. They want to do that as these other, I'm going to call them vices, but it's a horrible word. Distractions is the real word. As these other distractions get taken away, it just makes us more available to become that beneficial presence and to be more present with our relationships, with our significant others, with our children, with our parents, with our neighbors, with our church, with our whoever it is. That is the beauty of this thing, and that is the beauty of this program. So if you are struggling with addictions, and I don't mean, look at if you're on Skid Row and doing heroin day to day for 5 years, this isn't the place for you. But if you're a functional person with these other little vices, come here and they'll be removed like this. And I mean like that. They are gone. And we can prove it. So please come to Rythmia if you're being bothered by this. I have a book about that called Stuff the Moon Said. I don't know if I can say shit or not on thing. I don't know. If I can't blank that out. And Truthonomics, which is a manifestation book. Both of those. But more than anything, come here. If you believe that you need a change, come here. There's no place in the world that can tell you that if you go there, you have a 98.6% chance of changing your life that week and having it stick forever. We can. So please come to Rythmia and experience the change. Cheers.